Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic Forever podcast, where we're going to go over everything Celtic that's been happening in the last week because we've not been on since last Saturday. So we're here to talk about everything Celtic. We're going to talk news, signings, rumours, and anything else that's happening at Celtic Park over the last few days. John's here to go over all of the stories and news with us. No heard from you for a wee while, John. How you been keeping it?
I'm alright now, Zand. I wasn't feeling that great. Kind of start the week, but I'm alright. Aye, how's yourself?
Aye, I'm feeling a lot better. I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you're all right. I hope you're feeling better and you can cope through this wee podcast. We'll not be on for too long tonight, maybe about 35-40 minutes. So hopefully you're all right, mate. I'm glad to hear
Fine.
glad to hear you're feeling better, John. Glad to hear you're feeling better. All right. Before we go any further, the competition for this week was for the Jockstein frame print on the screen there. That's what the prize is, and there was 5 correct winners this week. 32 people entered the draw, and the 5 correct entries are JNNY Mitchell, Men of Letters, The Prophet, One Club Since 1888, and Eclectic Minecraft. That was the 5 guesses that got it right, John. So I might as well announce who the mystery player is just now before we do the draw.
I still getting the idea who it is. I can't. What was my guesses again?
Paul Lambert and can't remember who that one was, John.
I can't remember. It says it on the podcast. I can't remember. I thought I sent it last, and I thought it was.
Aye, so it was Henry Larsson and Paul Lambert, but there was a lot of guesses in there, John, and unfortunately for everybody that entered, they got it wrong. But thank you for entering. Appreciate that. I know it was a wee bit difficult this week, but we've got 5 correct entries, and the mystery player was David Hanna, John. David Hanna, ex-Celt David Hanna. So that was the mystery player.
All right.
Yeah, we've got the 5 names in a box here, John. I've got them jotted down in a bit of paper. I'm just going to get a wee shake and pull one of the names out, right? Right. That's enough Carol Vorderman. I'll take one of these out of here. Right, here we go. And the winner is Eclectic Minecraft wins the frame, John. Eclectic Minecraft wins the frame print. That's the Jockstein frame print, John. So congratulations to Eclectic Minecraft. What I need you to do is contact the Celtic Forever Facebook page and leave John a private message with your address on it, and we'll get that sent out to you as soon as possible. So well done, Eclectic Minecraft. Well done. Congratulations.
Aye, well done, mate. Well done. That's a nice print, that one, by the way. When I was watching the podcast there, I was looking at it. That's a really nice print, that one.
Yes, lovely. Yeah.
So, that's nice with the writing and all that on it. Aye, that's a nice one. Well done, Minecraft build. That's a good print that you've won there. But I had a look on his channel as well. Some of the things he's built are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But David Hanna, I would never have got that in a million years, by the way.
Aye, David Hanna. I was trying to make it quite difficult, but 5 people got it right, John. So well done to Jenny Mitchell, Men of Letters, The Prophet, and One Club Since 1888 for getting it right. Unfortunately, it has to go into a draw because we've only got one to give away, and 5 people got it right. So congratulations, Eclectic Minecraft. And we'll leave it there, John. We'll leave it there. And we'll go on to some of the stories for news and rumours for this week.
Remember, get in touch with me on Facebook, Celtic Forever page, just before we move on, Xander, because we did have a couple of people. I think it was one guy didn't get in touch with us after winning. Is that right? Maybe 1 or 2 guys they won the prize, didn't get in touch. So remember, get in touch with us on Facebook's Celtic Forever page.
Yeah.
Unless you're already on there, I don't know. Most of the people that's on there, but I get in touch with us. Just leave your name and address and a private message to me, and we'll get that sent out to you. And well done to the last one. It was the last prize winner. I've got to give him a mention. One club since 18. No, one club since 18. That was the last guy. It was in the draw, wasn't it? Who was it again? We would never sell our club. Aye.
Is that boy for Ireland?
Aye.
Yeah. I think he had a bit of a delay there, John, but I think he got it eventually.
I got the print eventually. Let us know in the comments. They got their reprint there, so that's all good. They got their print and they're happy enough with that. So
and like what the Prophet did a couple of times as well, John, when he won his prize. Send in a wee picture to John and we'll put it on the podcast. Don't need to show your face or anything like that. Just a picture of you holding the frame and we'll put it on the podcast. If you want, you don't need to do that, obviously, if you don't want to do that. Before we move on, John, next week's promotion, very simple. The football's back next Sunday. We play Bucky Thistle at Celtic Park, 4 o'clock kick-off next Sunday. So all we want is the usual. What minute and second will the first goal be scored in the Bucky Thistle game? Simple as that. What minute will the first goal be scored in the Bucky Thistle game at Celtic Park next Sunday? Up to 5 guesses each, and leave your guesses in the comment section. So good luck to everybody with that one. And the prize for next week is the Jimmy Johnson framed print on screen there. So good luck to everybody with that one.
aye, exactly. Good luck, everybody.
Okay. All right, mate. Let's move on. Celtic news and rumours. So, Nicolas Kuhn, obviously this has been dragging on a wee bit. Nicolas Kuhn, the right winger from Rapid Vienna, we're obviously linked on a £3.5 million move for this boy. Deal has been delayed. The reason for the delay is they want to replace the player before he moves on. But in saying that, he was left out of the team today in the Rapid Vienna game. So I don't know what's going on, John. He's left out the team today, but they don't want to let him go until they replace him. I don't understand that, do you?
You can kind of understand it if they have to got a replacement player, but I don't know. I don't know. How much is this guy supposed to be costing Celtic?
3.5 million, John. I think Celtic are going to be paying for him.
Ah, well, that's a lot of lolly in their pocket to go and get somebody.
Yeah, that's it.
I wonder if there was any kind of swap deal. I take it they didn't want anybody that was at Celtic. I'm guessing Celtic's already tried to offer some kind of swap deal with one of the Celtic players that don't get a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they did or they didn't. Maybe they did, and Rapid didn't fancy any of the players, but
Yeah, possibly.
there's a lot of players wingers at Celtic it's no getting a game, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Well, there's no loan deal involved in this, or swap deal, sorry, John, involved in this deal for Nicolas Kuhn. It's just a straight transaction, 3.5 million bids, and it's obviously delayed because, as I said a couple of minutes ago, they don't want to let the player go until he's replaced. So they're talking early next week before he arrives at Celtic, John. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. Adam Montgomery has returned from Fleetwood, John. I don't know what that's all about, do you? I don't know why he's returned to Celtic, but he's back up the road, John. He's back at Celtic. A decent wee player, Adam Montgomery, isn't he?
Aye, looks okay. It's just one of the players. It seems to be that way with the young players. You don't see much of a future for them at Celtic, do you?
The thing that sticks out for me with Montgomery was the Ross County game where we scored the last minute goal up at Dingwall, John. I think Montgomery set up the player for the cross for who was it that scored the goal again? The right back, Ralston. So Montgomery set up that goal for Ralston. So yeah, that's what sticks out for me with Adam Montgomery. Decent wee player, but he's back up the road, John. He's back at Celtic. So we'll wait to see what Brendan decides to do with Adam Montgomery. Other news, John, we've got Kwon, we spoke about this last weekend, Kwon leaving. That's him actually away. He's out on loan at St Mirren, John. So we get a wee chance to actually look at him to see what he can offer if he's at St Mirren.
All right. That'd be good to see. I don't remember anything about the guy. I know you said he played in a friendly game or something like that, but I don't remember seeing the guy ever wearing the hoops, apart from when he signed. But aye, like you say, it'd be good to get a wee look at him, see how he is. Keep an eye on the St Mirren games, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So we can get a wee glimpse of what he can offer there, John. So he's staying in Scotland. He's out on loan at St Mirren, and so good luck to Kwon. All the best. I hope you do really well and you come back a better player for Celtic, buddy. So good luck for that.
Aye, AKA Liam Scales.
Well, that's it, John. Isn't it? That's if we get another Scales out of it, we'll all be happy. So he's staying in the Scottish League anyway. And and he's going to be playing his football for the next 6 months at St Mirren. So good luck to him. Before we go into any more rumours or anything like that, John, just a wee bit of football that's been happening over the weekend. Edinburgh University won, Celtic B 3. And a player I've noticed the last couple of games for the Celtic B, John, is Corey Thompson, who scored 3 goals in 2 games. He scored a goal against Gretna on midweek as well. So maybe keep a wee eye on this Corey Thompson boy, John. 3 goals in 2 games.
Aye, that's good. But I've not been watching the Celtic B team. I used to watch some of their games, and I've just kind of went off that as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But same with the Celtic ladies team. I used to watch some of their games. I've not watched one in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same. I've not watched the ladies game or the B team for a wee while, but I have been keeping an eye on the scores. So Corey Thompson, John, want to look out for 3 goals in 2 games, banging in the goals. I know it's lower league opposition, but he's still finding the net, the young boy. So it can't be doing him any harm. So we'll watch out for Corey Thompson. Hopefully Brendan's been watching his performances. Moving on, we've got ex-Celt Jackson Irvine scored for Australia today, funnily enough, versus India. So ex-Celt Jackson Irvine scoring for Australia. And a wee bit of other football action that happened today was Rangers were playing German second division side Hertha Berlin and lost 1-0, John. Don't know if you've heard of this. They lost 1-0. More yellow cards all over the place. The manager Clements got sent to the stand, received a red card. So it's good to see they're taking these friendlies for what they are, eh?
Aye, that's it's good news for us, isn't it? If a guy's got a temper on him, he can't handle losing in a friendly.
Oh, that's it, John. That's it. A friendly game against a second division German team. They lose the game. They lose the rag. You know, he gets sent to the stand. I mean, when have you ever seen a manager getting sent to the stand in a friendly? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Aye, I mean, was there any fans there or anything, or was it just like a bounce match or something?
Yeah, there was fans there. It wasn't a bounce, John. It wasn't behind closed doors or anything like that. No, there was fans there. So they lost the game 1-0. He got sent to the stand. It doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you?
Nah, you kidding? Nah, no. The way he was going on about that penalty for, I don't know. He's probably still talking about it. He's probably still blaming that. He's probably blaming that ref on the penalty.
Yeah, they're still talking about it, John. They're still talking about that. That's a big issue for them, this penalty. They're wanting the game replayed and all sorts. So, yeah, he's still going on about that. So that's the kind of man he is. He's obviously a very angry man. So that was a game today, John. Friendly today. Rangers against German second division opposition, Hertha Berlin, and lost the game 1-0.
I get sacked.
The new manager bounces well and truly over. Back to Celtic, John. Anyway, that's all the action we can really talk about that's happened the last few days. Lagerbielke, we spoke about this last weekend, obviously. Billich has always gone to Genoa on loan, I think, John.
Aye. We haven't seen much of Lagerbielke, so maybe it is a good idea just to send the boy out on loan.
Mm-hmm.
Give him some game time. Again, might come back a better player, but we haven't seen anything really, have we? A Lagerbielke. It's just when he has played, he's looked okay. He hasn't overly impressed, but he's looked okay.
He has. He's looked decent, very decent. You know, he's. I don't think we should be getting rid of him personally. I think we should be keeping him as backup. You know, he can pick up these injuries at any time, John. Obviously, it's happened to us in the recent past. Billich is always off to Genoa in Italy anyway. It's not been confirmed yet, but that's the team that's in for him. And I think it's a loan move. I could be wrong. Might be a permanent deal, but I think I heard it's a loan move, John. Moving on. Good luck to Lagerbielke for this move anyway. So, there a bit of gossip, John, was Siegrest loan move has collapsed. Sturm Graz was off to John. I think the deal was more or less done and dusted, but the deal has collapsed. So it looks as though he's staying at Celtic.
All right. We need to get we're not in a big hurry to get a keeper in, but right now we've got 3 keepers obviously we don't need to get another keeper in right now. I don't know if that's something Brendan's actually looking at. But if you ask me, the keeper that should be gone should be Scott Bain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's. I don't remember seeing much of Siegrest in a Celtic goal. I don't remember seeing much of him at all. So I can't really comment on his form or performances, John. But as you say, Bain is a bit too small for a goalkeeper, and he doesn't fill that goal that much. I think we could be doing a new number 2 for backup for Joe Hart, to be honest with you.
Aye, but look, Joe Hart, he's no one for getting injuries. He's a good keeper. His distribution's good. He pulls off a save when he needs to pull off a save. I still like Joe Hart. I think there's still a couple of years left in him. But if he gets injured, the second choice is going to be Scott Bain, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, John. That's it.
And for me, I'm the same as you. I like the keepers to be at least 6'5". Go to fill that goal, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Commanding. I don't know how tall Scott Bain is, but he's not that tall, is he? How tall would you say he was? 5'11"?
6 feet, maybe 6'1", something like that, John. I'm not totally sure, but he's not a tall keeper. I mean, Joe Hart's quite a tall keeper. He does fill the goal, and he's a decent keeper as well, isn't he? So it looks as though he's staying anyway, John. It looks as though he's not going anywhere. The Sturmgratz move has fell through, so we need to keep an eye on that one as well, I suppose, because obviously he wants first team action, John, and he's not getting it at Celtic, is
he? He is a good keeper. He is a good keeper. I remember him at Dundee United. He was a good keeper.
Mm-hmm.
He is a good keeper. Obviously, it's going to take a lot to push Joe Hart out of the frame, I think. I think the thing about Joe is he's a good guy, good experience to have on the park, and he's got a good personality as well. I think all the players like him, the fans like him. He's just a big personality, really, isn't he, to have in the team. It's always a good thing to have.
Oh, aye. Yeah. He's a personality. He's also a good keeper, John. We've both spoken about that. We both like Joe Hart. He's a good shot stopper. Good distribution, as you say, as well. Yeah, he's a decent keeper. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's been no links to any goalkeepers for Celtic anyway. We've not been linked to any goalkeeper. So, but obviously that could change as the month goes on. Back into these rumours, John. Rumours, gossip. Because that's all I've really got. Because I've not actually signed anybody yet. So, Celtic have open talks with Quistgarden, John. We spoke about him last week as well. Second, Celtic have open talks. Apparently, obviously, this is just rumour. Obviously, he's a Brøndby player just now, the big striker. But we're definitely looking for a striker, aren't we?
Definitely looking for a striker. Aye. I think we need a replacement for Rowe. I can't see him cutting it at Celtic. Can you?
To be honest with you, John, no, I can't. No, and I hope I'm wrong, because you want every player to succeed at Celtic that wears the Hoops jersey. So hopefully I'm wrong and he does succeed at Celtic, but he misses a lot of clear open cut goals, chances. And he doesn't really, I don't think he really holds that ball up, because that's what he's in the team to do, to hold the ball up, isn't he? But I don't think he really does it that well, does he?
I want to see him putting the ball in the nets under. It's the chances he misses. That's what I don't like about him. He seems to get himself into good positions and stuff, but can he hit a barn door?
Yeah, but he also gets, when we're looking to throw that ball long, John, which isn't very often, they throw O on for a bit of physical presence up there, and he's not that physical, I don't think. But as we say as well, he's missing a lot of easy chances as well in front of goal. So hopefully that improves, John. Hopefully that improves. But he's away on international duty for a few weeks anyway. So hopefully we'll have a striker in pretty soon. Because as I say, the football starts back on Sunday. Sorry, John, you going to say?
Nothing.
So other news, John. We've got Rocco Vata linked with Bologna. Talks have started to send Rocco Vata out to Bologna, John. You thought he was a decent player, didn't you?
At the time when we were struggling, he was the only one that could put in a half decent cross. Rocco Vata. He doesn't need much space. He gets himself half a yard and he whips in a delightful cross. So I think there was a player there, and I think it's I think it's bad that Celtic are letting that boy go, because that boy can cross.
Yeah, but if we do sign this right winger, John, if we do sign him, Nicolas Kuhn, I think that's another right-sided winger in the team. Rocco Vata's a right-sided winger, isn't he? We've got a few other wingers there, Maeda, etc. We don't want to be overloaded with players in the same position, do we?
No, absolutely no. But like I says, I'm a fan of Rocco Vata. I think it's a mistake letting that boy go. I think there's a good player in there. I really, really do, Xander.
Yeah, so do I, John. I think he's a good player. He's decent. He's not been given a chance at Celtic. Let's be honest. He's played one or two games, maybe. Yeah, I'd like to see him getting another wee chance at Celtic. Obviously, this Rocco Vata linked with Bologna, it's just another rumour, John. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but that's what the news is. Talks have apparently started, so we can all wait and see if he's still there come the end of January, John.
I would have liked to have seen him being loaned out to some team in Scotland so we could keep an eye on him. But no, I think if we let him go, that's a good player down. I do like that boy. Honestly, I think there's a real good player in there. He didn't need much. He went by a player, half a yard, that's all he needs, and he whips in a beautiful cross. So, if he's on his way, which I know he's linked to Bologna, if he does go, that's a good player we've lost, I think. Real good potential there,
Yeah. And if Celtic have open talks as well, John, if they've open talks with this Chris Garden, the Bromby striker, it looks as though your two Scottish strikers deals are maybe dead in the water. Your Aberdeen player Majowski and Shankland for Hearts.
Aye. If they sign Visgarden, I can't see Celtic pursuing any of they two, but I wouldn't want Majowski for Aberdeen anyway. He is a good player. He's got the pace, but so is Kyogo. If Kyogo starts finding the net again regular, we don't need another striker like Majowski. But the other one, Lawrence Shankland, I'm a fan of him. I'd like to have seen him at Celtic.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, John. Yeah, it's but we can only go by what's happening in the news, I suppose, isn't it? Celtic have open talks with Chris Garden, so whether that's true or not, again, we'll find out at the end of January, because at Celtic there's nothing happening now, John. The transfer activity is very slow just now, isn't it?
It's very slow, aye. That's just nothing new there for Celtic, is it? Unless it was Postecoglou, he seemed to get the signings he wanted early, didn't
he? He did, John. And sometimes the signings were in before the window opened. That's how quick Postecoglou was, John. That's how quick he was getting these signings in. No messing about. But it's supposed to be the 13th. We're at the 13th of January, and there's still no signing in the door yet. So we can only wait and see, John. And I think Kyogo, with no worries with Kyogo, John, he'll be banging in the goals. Once the football starts again on Sunday, he'll be banging in the goals. I've absolutely no doubt about that.
I've got every confidence with Kyogo. He will return to his best. I mean, he still plays well in every game. He's missing a lot of sitters, I think. Whatever's wrong with Kyogo's caught it.
Yeah. Unless he's playing Rangers, of course, where he just rattles the bunt in the net every time, which is what he's there for, I suppose, isn't it?
Aye, well, if we could play them every week, it'd be all right,
Aye, that's it. Speaking of Japanese strikers, John, we've got Maeda, who has scored for Japan in a 6-1 win over Jordan. So it's good to see that Maeda's finding right, isn't it?
Aye. Maeda's Japan's main striker, though, He plays up front for them and he does well up there.
He does, yeah.
So I don't know why he doesn't get a chance leading the line at Celtic. I know he has had a couple of shots leading the line, but he wasn't that effective, really, was he?
No, he's better on the wing for Celtic, I think. But he does play up front for Japan a lot, as you say, John. He does. prolific for Japan. Scored midweek there against Jordan. Anyway, so that'll do his confidence no harm.
Absolutely, aye. It's good to see him scoring. I says to you, I know we're worried about Celtic players going to this Asia Cup, but I did say to you, I think it'd be good for Maeda to go to get his confidence back up a wee bit. But he was starting to look the part, wasn't he? Just before the Asia Cup, the last couple of games against the Rangers and St Mirren.
Yeah, definitely.
He was starting to look the part. So look, we can all just hope all these players come back in the same shape they left, no injuries, you know.
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
Hatate. I'm always concerned about Hatate because he's very injury prone. I wouldn't like to think he's away to this Asia Cup, gets injured, and that's him out for another 3 months.
Yeah, fingers crossed. There's nothing like that happens, John. Same with all the boys that are away, obviously. Okay, we'll move on. I want your opinion on John. Bernardo, loan. Do we sign him permanently or do we not sign him permanently? I think Benfica are looking between 3 and 5 million for him. Do we sign Bernardo on a permanent deal? Do you think?
I says to you the last time, we're starting to see a player there in Bernardo.
Mm-hmm.
The more games he's getting, the better he's starting to look. That's just the way I see it right now. Of course, things can change. I mean, maybe just, I don't know. He's not had a chance yet. He played most of the Champions League games, which was weird. Never played in the league games. Then suddenly, he's needed in the centre of the park, and he's played well in every game he's played in. So, if that's anything to go by, I think kind of around about the £3 million mark seems he could be a good signing.
Yeah. Well, my opinion is, John, we sign him. I think we've got to sign him. I think he's getting better every game.
Aye, exactly. Aye.
Hmm.
Aye, I would take a chance on him because he is starting to look. He's starting to look like he's getting better game by game. Bernardo. He's very, very confident looking, which I like, and he's got a wee bit of height about him. I think he's maybe in the kind of 6 foot, that kind of height in the centre of the park. We need a couple of 6 footers in there. We've got Mattarelli in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bernardo. Wee bit of strength about him as well. And he finishes well against the Rangers. That's always a positive, isn't it?
Yeah, and he scored the game after that as well. He's decent, definitely decent. I think we should sign him. And as you say, between 3 and 5, maybe pay £3.5 million for him. That's a good bit of business, I think, John.
I think so, because it does look like he's getting better game by game. Xander, if Celtic were to make him a permanent signing, I would certainly be happy with that.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted your opinion, John. That was all. Okay. Just before we move on to the comments, another congratulations to Eclectic Minecraft for winning the Billy and Jockstein frame print there. Congratulations, buddy. You done well. You done well guessing the David Hanna mystery player. So congratulations one more time, John.
Oh, absolutely. Well done. I would never have guessed David Hanna. I remember David Hanna at Celtic, but it's just one of the players. You did say that it might not be a legend. I remember you saying that, right? And if I should have caught on to that.
Yeah.
But David Hanna. I remember him well. Just when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, David Hanna, of course.
Yeah.
I would never have got it right enough, but I remember the player well at Celtic.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm old enough to remember him.
Me know. I mean, I was shocked at 5 people getting it right. That's a lot of people that got that right, John. Eclectic Minecraft, one club since 1888, Men of Letters, Prophet, and Jenny Mitchell, all getting it right, John. I was quite impressed with that. I thought maybe one would get it right, 2 maximum, but for 5 people to get that right, a lot of Celtic supporters know their stuff out there, eh?
Aye, absolutely, aye. Nah, but David Hanna. I just totally forgot about him till you mentioned his name.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about him.
Yeah, there you go.
That's amazing how players can slip your mind like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. He was a decent wee player, Hannah. Decent enough wee player. All right. I'll mention the next promotion one more time before the comments as well. What minute will the first goal be scored in the Celtic versus Bucky Thistle game next Sunday? Looking for the minute and the seconds. 5 guesses each. Simple as that, John. Very simple. Leave your guesses in the comments. And that's to win the Jimmy Johnston Celtic Legends frame print.
Aye. Bucky Thistle, eh?
Yeah. They'll make a bit of money to that, John. That'll be a decent wee payday for them. Celtic shouldn't have any problems going through there, but stranger things have happened, obviously. But no worries there. We should be okay against Bucky Thistle, especially at Celtic Park. But all we're looking for is the minute of the goal, the first goal. Sorry, the minute of the first goal. Whether it's Celtic, whether it's Bucky, it doesn't matter. We're just looking for that minute and second. Whoever's the closest wins the Jimmy Johnston frame print. All right, John, we're going to move on to some comments. Before that, sorry, one more Colombo again. One more thing. Did you see my wee sad video with the ex-Celtic managers? Pretty moving wee video I put on. It's got quite a lot of views. Did you watch it? I think you did watch it, John.
Aye, of course I watched it, aye. I don't know why my voice went all high there.
Aye. It's a nice wee video. I enjoyed making it, enjoyed watching it. I've watched it 4 or 5 times myself. 5 total legends of the club, John. Jockstein, obviously, Billy McNeil, Wim Jansen, Dr. Joe Venglos, Tommy Burns, all gentlemen, all good men. And I just wanted to pay a wee bit of respect
Homage.
by doing that wee video.
Aye, it was a good wee video. Enjoyed it. That's the channel rolling back the years there, going back to the old style, making the Celtic videos. And anybody that did watch it, just go back into the channel, scroll down through the videos. There's tons of stuff like that on the channel. Because how long's this podcast been going anyway, Xander? 5 months or something?
Yeah, podcast is 5 months, but the channel's been going about 1.5 years now, John, I think.
Aye, it's been going a long time, but there's a lot of good content on there to be watched. Anyway, I'll go on to the comments.
Yeah.
Where do you want them read for? You've got a choice of 2.
Well, there's not really much been happening. Anyone, you decide, John. On you go. You decide.
Well, I'll read a few for the first one, and the podcast. Then I'll read one for the manager's video, because there's a hell of a lot of comments, and I'm never going to get through all of them.
Yeah.
So, just people having their guesses. Anybody that's had guesses, commiserations to you. I can't read all your names out, but I'll give you a wee shout out. 2 Pieces in Snarler, thanks for your guess. He thought it was Paul Lambert and Stephen Mahey. Sorry, Stephen Mahey. Stephen Mahey, I liked him. He was a good defender.
I like Stephen Mahey. He was part of the team that stopped the 10 in a row, went he, as well. So, yeah, under Wim Jansen. So, decent player, Stefan. Yeah, very much.
And Paul Lambert, of course. What a legend he was. Anyway, Eclectic Minecraft. Oh, that's the guesses. My 2 guesses are Stuart Gray and David Hanna.
Stuart Gray, John. I don't remember much about Stuart Gray. I do remember the name and the player, but I don't remember watching him that often. Do you?
No, like you says, I remember the name, but I don't remember much of the player. But the name is very strong in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
He says, my 2 guesses are Stuart Gray and David Hanna. Thinking outside the box from that era. Good pod again, well done, Eclectic Minecraft. Great guesses, by the way. Stuart Gray, but never remembered him either, by the way.
No. Yeah, congratulations again. That's all I can say. It's a great guess because I was trying to make it as difficult as possible, and you got it. You won the draw. It had to go to a draw, unfortunately, because we could only give away 1 free print, and 5 people got it right. So congratulations, well done.
Aye, Stuart Gray, but I'm still thinking about that. Too good. That's 2 names that I would totally have slipped my minds under. Stuart Gray and David Hanna. Anyway, well done, mate. So penalty to Rangers. Rangers spelt with a G, of course.
All right, sorry, I thought they were maybe playing.
No, I wasn't doing commentary.
Maybe you were watching their game or something.
No, I wasn't doing my Rangers TV either.
All right, sorry, on you go, John. Sorry.
Penalty to Rangers said, just to touch on what Xander said about all the yellow cards that Celtic got in the Glasgow derby and were very soft and uncalled for, while Rangers only had a few and were committing most of the fouls.
Yeah.
And yet they had the brass neck to complain about a penalty that wasn't.
Yeah, it's actually quite laughable. You know, we don't want to talk too much about them. Spoke about them earlier because they got beat. But we don't want to talk about them too much. But who said that, John? Who was the commenter?
Penalty to Rangers.
Penalty to Rangers. He's absolutely bang on. You know, all the yellow cards we received in that Glasgow derby was unbelievable. I know I went over this already, but just thinking back to that, that's every time we went near Rangers play, they were falling to the ground and we were getting booked. That was unbelievable. And then I've got the audacity, if you like, to complain to the SFA for 2 weeks about a penalty that they didn't get for an offside. Oh, moving on, John, moving on.
Aye. They're just a laughing stock. End of the day, that's all it is. Just a laughing stock. And good luck to them getting the game replayed.
I know. Yeah. Aye, got to laugh. Sorry, John, on you go.
Nah, that's all right. I'm just reading the comments while you're having a laugh at yourself, Alexander.
It's quite funny wanting the game replayed, isn't it? No wonder I'm laughing. Yeah, on you go, John. Next one.
Now, you says they've absolutely no dignity in defeat. That's the end of. Anyway.
Yeah.
Penalty to Rangers had his guesses, Alan Stubbs and Andy Tom. What a player Andy Tom was, and big Alan Stubbs.
He was brilliant. When Big Stubbs scored the goal against Rangers, I know, didn't he? Two great players, yeah, two brilliant players for Celtic. Andy Tom, I'll never forget when he signed. That was the start of the turning point when all the fortune started to change. Tom was just outstanding. Yeah, what a player.
Aye. I loved Andy Tom. Looks like that actor. I've always got a look-alike in her. Daniel Craig, James Bond.
He does, yeah, he does, John. He looks like Daniel Craig. I've got to agree with you there.
Apart from Andy Tom had a mullet, but that's the only difference.
Aye. Decent player. Who was it that signed him? Was it Wim? Was it Wim Jansen that signed him? I can't remember.
Excuse me. I think it was Wim Jansen that signed him. Memory's not that good. I mean, if I got David Hann and Stuart Gray, who could forget them? Anyway, yeah. Elaine said, I'll say Paul Lambert and Chris Sutton. Good pod, Xander and John. Hope you're on the mend, Xander. Thanks for that, Elaine.
Yeah, thanks, Elaine.
Paul McComb says, good pod, lads. Thanks for that, Paul. Roseanne, she said, my two guesses are Stan Petrov and Sean Maloney. Well, Stan Petrov never played in that strip, did he?
I don't think he did, no. I think she's just maybe a year or two out. No, I don't think Stan played in that. I don't think Maloney did either, did he?
I don't think so. Could be wrong. I racked my brain with older stuff, Sander, trying to remember it, but I honestly can't remember. But I don't think any of them played in that strip. But no. Roseanne thought it was Stan Petrov or Sean Maloney. She says, you're sounding a bit better, Xander. Congratulations on your 3,000 subs. Brilliant.
Oh, yep, and there's a big prize coming up once the football starts again, John, for the 3,000 subs. That's not a big prize, but it's a decent prize coming up for the 3,000 sub celebration. So that'll be announced in the Bucky Thistle game, John, or after it. So that'll be next week's prize, and that's coming up next weekend. Yeah, and unlucky Roseanne with your guesses, pal.
Thanks for your comment, Roseanne. Always great to hear from you.
Yeah.
Next up was James Doran, who says Paul Lambert and Chris Sutton. Thanks for your comment, James, and unlucky, mate.
Unlucky, mate, yeah.
Men of Letters says Turnbull was sent off for the same thing. I don't know what you're talking about, Men of Letters, because I can't remember the podcast, but do you know what he's talking about there?
Turnbull was sent off for the same thing. Was this the sending off the stmirren game?
That's what I was thinking. Tackling the keeper.
Aye. And Turnbull was sent off for the same thing. I don't remember it, to be honest with you, John. No.
But was Turnbull sent off? I remember him getting sent off fairly recently.
I don't know.
Can't remember, men or letter. Sorry, mate, I can't remember. But let us know in the comments what you were talking about there, because I can't remember the podcast, mate. But thanks for your comment, bud.
Yeah, and unlucky as well in the competition, because you were one of the ones that got it right. So commiserations. Yeah.
Thanks for your comment. We would never sell our club for £1. My two guesses for the mystery player is Bobby Petter and Stilling Petrov. I don't think they were playing in that strip either. Bobby Petter, wasn't he?
I don't either. No, but unlucky, buddy, unlucky.
Aye, and well done in winning your B prize last week, by the way. Glad you got it.
Yeah, glad you got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to be delayed because of Christmas and New Year, but as long as you've got it, that's the main thing.
One club since 1888, says Tony Mowbray or David Hanna. Well done in getting David Hanna, but unlucky in the draw. One club since 1888.
Yeah, it must be quite annoying to be getting that right, John, and no win the prize, eh? So, unlucky, buddy. Unlucky, or I don't know if it's a man or a woman, so unlucky anyway. Just keep entering the competitions, you'll get one of these frame prints eventually.
Aye, unlucky. But, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Better luck next time, as they say. Scotty Boy says, "Hi lads, my two guesses are Paul Lambert or Stan Petrov." Petrov get quite a few mentions under.
Yeah, so did Lambert, John. So did Lambert. There was a lot of people who entered this competition. There was a lot for Petrov. There was a lot for Lambert. But keep trying. Keep trying.
All right. Thanks for your comment, by the way, Scotty Boy. It's good to see you here.
Thanks, pal.
James Doran says McKenna is not Celtic quality, and there is better defenders out there. Absolutely, there is. Shane Duffy's better than Scott McKenna, in my opinion.
Aye. No, we're not going to hear him with a bar's pole anyway, John. We've got enough good defenders there, so we don't need to sign any more.
Aye. Paul McCune says, "Hail, Paul."
Hail, buddy.
The Prophet says, "Wee Ben Summers is my bigger brother's nephew." Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, he's a decent wee player, Summers. He's a very good wee player. So, yeah, he's one that could do something at Celtic, I think.
Aye. Oh, definitely. I like wee Ben Summers. Like I say, Steve, if that wee guy can get a game at the Rangers, I keep forgetting his name. The guy with the blonde hair.
Can't remember his
name. If he can get a game at Rangers, I don't see any reason why wee Ben Summers is not getting a game at Celtic. Then again, Rangers on the Celtic.
Oh, that's it, John. That's it.
But aye, wee Ben Summers, correct wee player, man. Aye.
Level. Celtic are a different level. So, yeah, he's going to struggle to get into the team. But just keep trying and banging in the goals the way you did, Ben Summers, and he'll not do you any harm, let's put it that way.
It's McCausland. That's the wee guy at Rangers.
Aye, McCausland. That's him. Half decent wee player, John, but no Celtic. Definitely no Celtic level, that's for sure.
Definitely no. I wouldn't even get a start in the Celtic reserves.
Right. Moving on.
Moving on for that. I hope we're talking about the right player there, because I was reading something where it says that we're talking about McCausland here and no Ben Summers, right?
No, McCausland, that's it.
Now, wee Ben Summers, good luck to the wee guy. I do hope, and I keep saying it, there is a future for some of these young Scottish boys at Celtic, because some of them really deserve a chance. Ben Summers being one of them, and wee Rocco Vata being the other one that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Great wee players, Ander. Anyway, I'll move on to your wee video that you did, the Celtic managers that have sadly passed on.
Yeah.
Joseph McKenzie says, "It annoys me that we got rid of Dr. Joe for the mess that was John Barnes." Don't remind us of that, man.
I'm reminded of John Barnes, that's for sure. Dr. Joe, so unlucky as a manager. No, I'll never forget that 5-1 win, John, for Liverpool bagged a double against Rangers 5-1. That's when they were obviously the dominant team in Scotland. We Dr. Joe, he only lasted a year, didn't he? So he never got that second year, so he didn't really get time to see the job through, if you like.
Nah. You met Dr. Joe, didn't you?
Yeah, I was obviously, my wedding reception was at Celtic Park, and I was talking to Dr. Joe just congratulated me, etc. Just a couple of minute conversation. What a gentleman, John. What a gentleman.
Aye. Just he brought wee Lubo in as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Nobody will ever forget wee Lubo. Or Dr. Joe. Rest in peace, Dr. Joe. Great wee guy.
Yeah.
I'll just try to find a couple of shorter comments because I can't see them when they're big comments.
Aye.
I'll read one out for James Doran. All Celtic legends and will never be forgotten. And what a manager Jock Stein was. And winning the European Cup in 1967 with 11 local men was an incredible achievement. And to win 5 trophies that season was unbelievable. And a feat that will never be beaten. Well, can I disagree with that, James Doran? It was a tremendous achievement for Jock Stein. That.
Yeah, sadly missed, John. Sadly missed. But he'll never ever be forgotten for what he done for Celtic Football Club, John. That was historic to say the least. Yeah, thank you, thank you, Jock. Thank you for everything, Jock.
Aye, the statues there outside Celtic Park to remind you what a real legend looks like, and none of these dummy statues you see around stadiums. If anybody deserved a statue outside a stadium, it was probably every one of the Lisbon Lions.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, every one of them a legend. Every one of them. Thanks for all we can say is thanks for what you've done for the club. Thank you.
Exactly. Aye. Evergreen 1888 says they're always there, and God bless every one of them. God bless you, Tom. I'll just rattle through a few of these, Sander. Thanks for your comment, Evergreen.
Cheers,
mate. One Club since 1888 says, I've watched this 3 times now. So sad and beautiful at the same time. Well done, Xander and John. Perfect. Well, it was actually Xander's video. It's not mine's, but well done, Xander.
Aye, well, thanks, One Club 1888. We had to do something because there was no news in midweek, John, was there? There was no news, no signings, no news, no gossip, so we had to wait to the day to do a podcast. I mean, we don't want to be sitting on a podcast for an hour talking about Mikey Johnson for over an hour. You know what I mean? You want to have something to talk about, so we had to put that video out there in midweek. But it was okay. We got a lot of views for the wee video, and I'm glad. Thank you to everybody that watched it as well.
Aye, I've told you to stay off of the podcast, Sander. I only want money off you.
I didn't watch. I just saw the headline, and the video was on for over an hour. It was something to do with where does Mikey Johnson's future lie? All right. Moving on.
Oh, they're clutching at straws, aren't they, for anything to get their money?
Yeah. Looks that way, doesn't it?
Like we're only any other podcasters listening, we're only having a wee laugh. You want to ask for money, you ask for money. It's just not the way we do things. We just like to give stuff away, We don't ask.
Yeah, well said, John. Yeah.
Dan Breen says every one of them sadly missed, but will never be forgotten. Hail, hail.
Oh, aye. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for the comment, buddy.
I'm just going to read a couple of new ones. That's what I'm looking for. I'm scrolling through, looking for some names I don't recognise. Quote them not. Quote me not. Sorry. And every one of them a Celtic legend. Thanks for that. Quote me not.
Yeah, thanks. Quote me not. Yeah.
I think I've seen him here before, actually.
Yeah, he's not been on for a while, but he's left a wee comment on the. I think it was maybe one of the subscribers that watched the videos rather than the podcast, John. So hopefully he's watching the podcast now.
Well, hopefully it'll be good to see you back. Quote me not. It's good to see you here anyway, mate. Star of David says, Tommy Burns slinging Thatcher at Deefy. Brilliant, great footage.
I just walked right by her, didn't he? To Tommy. Yeah, that was the Tommy Burns was quite sad. I thought watching that and having to make that video and go back and find the footage, what a man Tommy Burns was. What a man. What a player as well, John.
Aye, that's another one of the true Celtic legends, TB. Tommy
Yeah.
Burns, never be forgotten. It's always sad when you watch him, and when you see his videos. I think every Celtic fan loved Tommy, and every time you see him, you feel sad that he was taken too young for a start, wasn't he, Tommy?
Yeah, totally, John. Very, very young when he passed away. But a great man, another great Celtic man, John, gone. Rest
Every
in
one
peace.
of them was a great Celtic man. Wim as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dr. Joe, Jock Stein, Big Caesar, of course. Don't never forget Big Caesar. It's the first time you see him, you drive into Celtic Park. Big Caesar holding that cup aloft.
yeah, that's it, John. Yeah, rest in peace to all these legends, all these former managers that are no longer with us, John. But the funny thing about the Billy McNeil part of the video is when he's getting interviewed and one of the Rangers players busts the door off the hinges practically. His
That's right.
reaction's brilliant, isn't it?
Aye. What was it he said again? I can't remember now. He said something after it. You can see what it means to the Rangers players or whatever. But some lie
Aye.
anyway. Some snidey, sarcastic comment. Brilliant, Big Caesar, you know.
What a man.
Aye, Big Caesar, big legend. He'll never. None of them will ever be forgotten. No Celtic players will ever be forgotten. But we're
No.
talking legends here. Celtic managers that have passed. We're here to talk about them, and we'll never forget them. One last comment, Xander, because there's far too many to get through. I'll be here all night reading these out.
All right.
So I thought this one might be appropriate to finish it off with, Xander. And it's a guy called Graham Taylor. I don't think it's the ex-England manager here, but it's Graham Taylor anyway. And he says, Jock Stein, the visionary of modern football, the man who taught Cruyff and Fergie, then Cruyff, then Pep. Does that not tell you how advanced Big Jock was? Greatest manager of all time.
Yeah, well said. Brilliant comment to finish, John. Yeah, and he's no wrong, is he? He is the greatest manager of all time. To win that European Cup with no money, 11 players from in and around Glasgow, John, to win that European Cup and all. Don't forget all the other trophies and titles that he won as well. Yeah, he's bang on. Great comment. Well said.
Aye. I think that was appropriate. That was a good one to finish on. Of course, Big Jock Stein, he is the ultimate Celtic legend. Him and all the Lisbon Lions. And I've always put Tommy Burns in there with him as well for some reason. Tommy was born maybe a few years earlier. He'd have been a Lisbon Lion. I've no doubt about that, Xander.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're all sadly missed, John. All five of the men sadly missed. Great managers, great players as well for Celtic. Obviously, Wim Jansen didn't play for Celtic or Dr. Joe, but outstanding men and outstanding managers. Wim obviously stopping the 10 in a row. Yeah. God rest all five of them, John.
Aye, well, Wim was one of my. I can't mind. I think I picked him as my manager. Mind we were picking our top 11 players since your time watching Celtic.
Yeah.
I think I picked Wim Jansen as my manager. I'm not sure. Was that not one of my all-time Celtic moments? Was it not?
Yeah. He's. I can't remember that far back, John. That was a while ago we did that, wasn't it? That was.
I think it was one of my all-time favourite moments. My top three all-time moments. I think I picked Wim Jansen stopping the 9 in a row.
Yeah, I remember it now. Yeah, which came back to me, John. Yeah, you did. And what a moment it was, Johnny. Never to be forgotten, stopping that 10 in a row. And winning our first league title in a decade as well. So, outstanding achievement by Wim Jansen as well, wasn't it? Absolutely outstanding.
Aye. Every one of them. Like we can go on and on about them, but we've made videos about them before, and you've made videos about them before, and they're all there on the channel if you want to go and check them out. So I think that covers all the comments, Sander. That's me done. There's 2 minutes to go through.
All right, John. Thanks for that. Thanks for reading all them out. I know it's no easy reading them out because it's the eyesight and all that, and you're trying to read other people's comments. But thanks for doing it anyway, John. I appreciate that. That'll do us for the night, folks. That'll do us. Football returns on Sunday against Bucky Thistle in the Scottish Cup, 4 p.m. kick-off. So we'll do a preview for that in midweek, John. We'll do a preview for that. Just remember to enter this week's competition as well, if you can. What minute will the first goal be scored against Bucky? Voting for the minute and the seconds. 5 guesses each, and leave your guesses in the comment section. So good luck with that, everybody, to win the Jimmy Johnson frame print. All right, John, that wraps it up. We'll be back midweek. We'll do a wee preview of the Bucky Thistle game, as I say. Hawking days. Thank you for reading the comments here, John, and thanks for coming on tonight. Appreciate that, buddy.
No problems, Andy. I'll speak to you midweek. Look forward to it.
Okay, John. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for listening, and remember to hit that like button as well. Hail, 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 everybody, and we'll see you midweek. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, Xander.